Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over in our YouTube account. And of course, we are looking at Rimuru, which is going to be the new hero that is coming. Now, if you caught the Dolly dialogue, when this came up on the test server, it absolutely went crazy. And I've gotten just an astronomical amount of questions about the hero that is coming. So we're going to go ahead and check him out and show you kind of what we're thinking is going to come with this hero. So you'll see right here with the dialogue, it is right here. I hear the dragons are visiting. Nope, I wish I could soar like them gliding through the air. Maybe this one's a little different because we do, right there. The young demon lord easily resolved the conflicts between the Maulers and the Empire's border village. Impressive, isn't it? Now, of course, the demon lord that they are referring to is Rimuru. Now, if you're familiar with the anime, which I was not at all, I watched 2 episodes so far, but overall, it was the hero that is coming. And it is going to be our new dimensional hero. Now, we know that we've done crossovers in the past. We did it with like Rem and Amelia. We've done it with Albedo and Ainz. We've done it with Joker and Queen. There's been a lot of crossovers historically that we've seen in AFK Arena. And this is going to be the next one. So I want to show you some of what we're kind of seeing on what is going on with this hero. So let's hop over here. And I'm going to bring up, of course, this first. This is the Demon Lord Rimuru. This is what we're going to get. Now you can see that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Wanted to give a little bit of a backstory of it. Again, kind of based on what I've been seeing. Run through some of the skills and abilities we're going to be seeing from this. And it took me a while to kind of wrap my head around exactly what it was. But a lot of players have said it is that this anime is just absolutely crazy. Because when you think he is an individual, so essentially the way that the anime starts off is he is living, I believe it is in Tokyo, and he's there with some of his coworkers and he gets stabbed. And then all of a sudden, the next part of the scene, he wakes up and he is literally a slime. So when you think of a level 1 slime from all of the RPGs that we've kind of done, it has, and again, this is kind of how it goes. It was pretty cool. When is he coming? So it should be this week. This week should be the patch notes. Now, is it a boy or girl? And again, these are questions that I've been getting. So on the website, which we'll look at in just a minute, it says that he is a boy, that it is a boy. They said that he has female characteristics, but that it is a boy. And again, that's a question that we see. Rimuru becomes a literal god. So again, looking from the AFK aspect that we do see this hero. Now, of course, that breaks into his skills. So this is kind of the crossover that we're going to be seeing. And again, I've kind of looked at some of these and it's kind of interesting because again, when you start watching the anime, when you start watching the series, he encounters a dragon. So there's literally this giant dragon. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Drop his name in there and look at that. A hippo supporter. Thank you, Pluto, for supporting it. Yes, that explains it. Yes, Sundrop. It says in there, and again, I'm just going to what it says. Essentially, he's a male before he is killed, coming back as a slime, but it says that he kind of brings some of it back. And again, we'll look at it in just a minute. But looking through these abilities, it seems like overall he is going to be very unique in his abilities because I haven't seen another hero in AFK Arena that is kind of like this. And this is where it's going to be kind of interesting. So Rimuru has magic. And again, this is a rough translation from where this came out. And I believe it was on the Chinese server. Each point of magic reduces the amount of energy required to use a special skill. Max Rimu's number of magic points is limited. Magic does not depend on the speed of energy and health recovery. So I don't know exactly what that means by it doesn't depend on the speed of energy. So I'm not sure if this doesn't make a difference when it comes to essentially the energy that he has here. At the beginning of battle, Rimuru has a certain number of magic points, which we don't know exactly what that's going to be. Normal attacks inflict black flame on the target, which is the second ability we're seeing here. So again, I think he's starting with number of magic points. Normal attacks give this black flame ability. Opponents hit by the black flame take more damage from Rimuru's named allies. Now this again goes back to the anime. So when he first wakes up as a slime and that giant dragon is there, there you go, Veldora. Veldora is the giant dragon that is there like trapped, I think for 300 years for burning down an entire village in the fantasy world. So overall, when he wakes up as the slime, he is essentially where this giant dragon is trapped, and he has the ability called Predator. Predator gives him the ability to essentially eat anything and gain all of the attributes and skills of what the opponent or whatever he eats has, which again is kind of crazy because in the beginning he goes through and he actually eats Veldora. So this massive giant dragon, he eats him and he acquires essentially the abilities that he has. And I forget the ability that he gains from eating that dragon. But you can see then there is an effect, an active effect. He uses the magic to create numerous drops of water over the battlefield. Swinging his hand, the droplet turns into pins, pierces the battlefield, and damaging all enemies. So again, thinking of like the awakened version of Belinda, thinking of Ainz, he is going to do damage to everybody on the battlefield, which could be kind of crazy. This attack can cause critical damage, the chance of which increases for the amount of magic Rimuru has. So the more magic that he possesses, the more chance for the critical damage, which means he could be an absolute broken hero when it comes to a dimensional hero. Then, of course, in place of the largest concentration of opponents, Rimuru uses magic to summon black flames. Now, again, the ultimate ability says it will inflict black flames, causing damage to opponents in the affected area. Each enemy killed, he restores a certain number of magic points. So this is going to be kind of the cycle. So with the more magic that he's gaining, the more damage he's going to do. With the more damage, essentially he's going to kill out these pretty much faster, which is kind of crazy. So naming equal, like I said, when I was watching the anime, he named Veldora, gave him a name, a family name is what they referred to it as a Tempest. So he actually named him Veldora Tempest, and that is where Rimuru Tempest came from again in the beginning. And I watched it a couple times to kind of make sure that I knew exactly what was going on with this. And I also think with a hero like this is having the ability to buff him up to do more damage, essentially thinking of all of our support heroes in here. That would be kind of crazy. So he gives names to all allied heroes and summoned entities. Now that is important to note. He buffs or he names summoned entities. So again, this kind of makes me think when you're thinking of the awakened version of Baden and a couple other heroes that are going to have those summoned entities that are very strong, he is going to name them, making them stronger. Naming a hero or summon entity requires a certain amount of magic. Named allies gain various stats until the end of battle. Every time Rimuru or his named allies use an active skill, the hero absorbs a certain amount of magic points, which again is going back to his skill. Predator to gain essentially whatever is on the battlefield. When a named ally dies, Rimuru also absorbs some magic, again going back to that Predator skill that he does possess. Then the Great Sage. This is one where it just started getting into it. At the beginning of battle, he calculates the parameters of his opponents, strengthens himself accordingly. So it seems like the stronger that essentially the battle is going to be, he is going to get stronger. For each enemy using power, he receives endurance points. For each hero using intelligence, he gets magical suppression. Agility is evasion. So he's going to buff himself up depending on who he is fighting, which is absolutely kind of crazy. It seems like, yeah. And that's what it made me think, Dusty, is again, for the 2 episodes that I watched, it seemed like a lot of this was built into the very beginning. So exclusive, and of course, this is going to be the signature item. Every time that Rimuru absorbs a certain amount of magic points, he will restore a certain amount of health. That is going to be a heal. I'm sure there's going to be a damage aspect in there too. And then, of course, the furniture, magic absorption and recovery are enhanced by the energy recovery speed. So this is going to give him the ability to essentially get a lot of magic back a lot faster. Now, if you guys are like me and I went out and actually looked at like what was going on with this hero, and this is over on Fandom. If you guys have checked, there's a lot of stuff. So when he dies in the anime, he comes back as this slime. You can see right there's the anime. This is the slime he comes back. He can't see, he can't really talk. The dragon Veldora can read thoughts, but this is how he comes back as a slime. I haven't gotten to the point where he turns into this yet, which essentially is Rimuru Tempest. That, of course, is the hero. You can see they have a different variations depending if it's the game, the anime, the light novel, and it looks really, really cool. And it kind of runs through in here the backstory of it. And again, this is kind of where I got it. In the normal form, or the slime form as they call it, there's a lot of things he can use, and I feel like they really went through and picked and chose what they wanted to put on this hero, because he can do like body armor. He can turn into a metal slime, being a demon slime form. And then, of course, in the human form, there's a lot of different things that he can do in here. Even when you look at the skills and abilities that he possesses, they are crazy with the amount of stuff that they're doing. Now, you can see Ultimate Slime after evolving into a true dragon. So this makes me kind of think with the Draconis heroes that we got, him having possibly the ability to turn into some type of dragon would be kind of crazy to think, again, kind of crossing with the Draconic heroes. Now, the human form is of an androgynous, about a girly 15 to 16-year-old adolescence. Like I said, if you go through here, and I kind of read through all this, it says that it is a boy. I don't know if with the slime now it's just kind of neither, but we're going to have to see how this looks. And then, of course, if you watch the anime, and I really, really say, guys, go check out the anime, because this was the big part that I absolutely loved with the anime. When I started, it was the personality of the slime. This was such a cool part of this, is when you look at the personality that they gave this slime. I know, like the voiceover, all that stuff, but it's pretty funny the way that they portray the slime, the slime in the anime. It's really cool. And then, of course, it goes through a couple trivia things. But again, there's a lot of abilities that go into this. And you can see there's literally links to all kinds of stuff. And there is also a lot of other heroes in this anime, which that I know Alfredus, I believe, said something about, are they bringing other heroes from the anime over? As of right now, we are only seeing one. So the way that they got a hold of all this information is through essentially data mining it. So they went through and they data mined the information that we're seeing. And Rimuru was the only one that was in there as data mined. But again, we've seen it before where there's more than one hero that does come over, which we're going to have to see exactly how it looks, and if there is going to be more than one. I'm hoping there's more than one. That would be really cool. But ultimately, it seems like we are just getting one that is going to be coming over with this anime crossover, and I'm pretty happy about it. Again, I like the personality that they gave him, the skills and abilities. So again, in the anime, he runs through this dark cave where he's trying to find his way out, and he just literally eats everything with his predator ability. So he gets all of these abilities, and then, of course, in the second episode, he gets out of the cave that he's been locked in for, for the duration of the slime life. And then he goes into, and there's actually dire wolves, and I believe it's goblins, and they're fighting, and he settles all of that. And then essentially the end of the second episode, he's riding away on a dire wolf with some goblins. It's pretty cool. Veldora would be cool for a second collaboration. Yeah, that would be awesome if they did a storm dragon, if they did something of that nature. I think it would be really cool to see. Again, just because of the Draconic heroes that we have within this game, it would be kind of crazy to see. So again, guys, now's the time to be saving resources. So a lot of other questions that I get, is the hero going to be free? So if they keep it true to the dimensional heroes that we have seen in the past, technically the hero is not going to be free. The hero is going to cost resources. So essentially, you're going to have to save up all of your tokens, which are a majority of what you use within the store. And I haven't logged on today, but looking at the exchange that they do it, you're going to have to use some of essentially your guild coins. We use some of our hero tokens, which are right here. Your labyrinth tokens as well, which you can use the biggest bulk of the labyrinth tokens. And then, of course, your challenger tokens. Those are the ones that you exchange for the hero. Now, with that being said, you have to take it with a grain of salt, because they release the heroes. And if you've never done this before, if you've never seen it before, they release the heroes in a 60-day window. So you have 2 months to essentially acquire all of your resources to get this hero at 53 days. So right before the kind of the redemption period, 53 days, you can start redeeming for Rimuru, and you can get him completely for free, meaning you have a 7-day redemption period to the 60 days when you actually have the hero. So it kind of stinks because the hero will be out 53 days. You won't have access to it unless you purchase the hero. That is one of the big benefits. If you look at the play to win accounts or pay to win accounts, you will actually have the ability to purchase this hero. Again, like we've seen before, you can purchase the hero, and it's probably going to be discounted. We've always seen this one before, that it was $15 to essentially buy the hero. A lot of players I feel like are going to take the $15, and even Mystic said, "Nah, take my $50." Usually it's discounted. I don't know if they're discounted on just one, and yeah, Veldora would be awesome, guys. If they made Veldora into essentially a Draconic hero, that would be a very, very cool crossover. And again, I haven't seen the anime where if the dragon comes out or anything like that. But yeah, this might be the anime. This might be the crossover that we're seeing for this year. Now, also, they said we were going to do a minimum of one crossover, which means we could essentially see more crossovers than this one in AFK Arena within essentially the rest of the year. So you figure we still have 6 months of this year left. We could see another crossover. Now, in addition, there are going to be a lot of things that are going to be changing. And just like what Stonewall said, I just want the rates to change already. So this patch with Rimuru is going to be, I believe it's the 143. So it's the 1.143 patch, which means we could see the probabilities change, Stonewall. This, we could see the probabilities change. If it is not changing in this patch that we have Rimuru that is coming out, it is going to be the next patch. It'll be patch 144, essentially 1.144 at that point. We will see it. Now, they said in the dev notes that we are going to see the 2.5 increase or the probability increase by patch 1.44, which means if it's not this patch, it will guaranteed be the next patch for this going up. And I know at this point, a lot of players are saving all of the resources to do summons. Now we might see it next patch. So we might see it on 144 because again, thinking of the heroes, Gob2 would be hilarious. So again, thinking big picture, thinking of what we have going on with the probabilities is this patch that's coming up. So the patch notes will come up Wednesday. We know it is going to be Rimuru. We know that is going to be the hero that's coming. The patch after Rimuru is going to be an Awakened hero, again, kind of based on the guidelines. It should be an Awakened hero, which means one of 3 factions are going to get a new Awakened hero. So they might run the 2.5% probability or the increased probability that we see with the new Awakened hero, which is either going to be a Mauler, it is going to be a Wilder, or it is going to be a Graveborn hero. One of these 3 are going to get, well, essentially all 3 of these are going to get a 3rd Awakened hero this year. We just don't know which way they're gonna go ahead and put these in. If it's just gonna go the Mauler, the Wilder, the Graveborn. Next one that is released could just be a Graveborn, then they do Mauler, Wilder. We're gonna have to see because these are the 3 factions that haven't received their 3rd season or 3rd iteration of the Awakened hero at this point. Now, what that means though, is when it comes to resources, resource acquisition and resource really retention is going to be the thing to do right now. And of course, this is on the brand new resource or the brand new reset. So going in here, let's make sure the friends list is still pretty good. We have 21 hours, so everyone is still good in there. But like I was saying, when it comes to resource acquisition, it is going to be the point you're going to want to save your guild coins. You're going to want to save everything because I have had players in the past that have been burned with not having enough resources to get the hero. If they were completely free to play, they didn't have the ability to get the hero because they use their resources elsewhere. And I don't want you to be one of the heroes or one of the players that do not get the hero that you want because you don't manage your resources correctly. Again, 5 years since we've started doing this with Dimensional a couple years ago, we have seen a lot of players that have gotten burned by not having the ability to get the hero. And if they're not willing to put money in the game, they couldn't get the hero because they didn't save their resources. Name is Lord Rimuru, so I'll have to whale him out. A lot of people are whaling them out. What is going on, Carol? Fingers crossed for the Awakened Nimisu. Yeah, guys, drop it in chat. Who do you think it is going to be? If we're going Maulers, a lot of players are saying the Awakened version of Nimisu. This might be a very, very cool one to see. But I'm almost wondering if possibly it would be like a Scrag or even like a Satrana, because Satrana, of course, and Antandra are both in AFK Journey. It would be very interesting to see. A lot of players have also said Titus. This is one that they could do a lot with an Awakened version of Titus. Some people are saying K-Sauce. Now, of course, Chaos or K-Sauce overall, this is a hero that has never really been used anywhere, even thinking of old school AFK Arena. And the reason being the Life Leech. the life leech buff or this life leech ability right here. Never super effective, especially looking at how dynamic AFK Arena is right now. If players possess shields, the life leech effect does nothing, and that is why players have absolutely hated it. When you start thinking of the ability to go in there and take out targets and kill them pretty quick with the survivability that life leech is supposed to provide, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work how players kind of intended it, because if there are shields, life leech is totally nullified, which is the reason why so many players have said they need to revamp and kind of update life leech. So we got Awaken Entendre. There we go, Entendre or Honesta. So Awaken Honesta, I think that might be a little bit too new for the hero and still seeing a lot, but ultimately we got Brutus. If you guys remember the story, Honesta was actually the mentor or the teacher for Brutus. And of course, when Brutus went to the Awaken one, this was kind of the storyline where she came in play. They actually released her before they did the Awaken version of Brutus years ago. And of course, Brutus is still a monster, guys. I still like using Brutus. I think the utility-wise of Brutus still does incredibly well. Now, looking at our towers, this is another area, guys. Not only running through to get all of your emblems out of here, but also running through here and getting your time emblems out of every 20 floors. Want to make sure you're getting your Stargazer scrolls, but it is going to be the point where you have to get time emblems, and you have to get time emblems on a regular basis, because again, right after Rimuru comes out, we're going to see the next version of the Awakened hero. And again, timeline wise, that's what it seems. Now, a lot of players also question buying this out every single day. Now, when it comes to getting the time emblems, this is literally the only way that you're going to be and have enough resources to get the heroes. You have to buy these out every day. I know it is a little bit sacrificial because you're putting your 500 diamonds in there versus doing summons for regular heroes. But once you have the ability to get the time emblems, every single day you have to be getting these time emblems, because you can't use diamonds in there. It is the only way that you're going to be able to do that. How many dimensional stones we need to get Rimuru? I believe it's going to be 200, or no, is it 100? I think it is 100 that you need to exchange for. So it is a little bit different than what we see here in the garrison. These are not used. If that's what you're meaning, these are not the stones, Ali, that you're going to use. Do not buy these, guys. I repeat, do not buy these. I'm not sure if exactly that's what you're meaning. Do not buy these. You do not exchange the hero this way. It is not this methodology that you're exchanging for the hero. It is actually a part that will be up on this side. You will see Rimuru that will be up on there. What is going on, Peter? I've been collecting mage dimensional gear and emblems. That's exactly what you need to do. So now, guys, remember, when it comes to heroes like Rimuru, there is a very, very specific way to build them. So even looking at the labyrinth, these are the emblems you want to use. Now, of course, the emblems of space can only be used for dimensional heroes. With that being said, you don't want to use all of your red chests. You don't want to use all of your epic emblems to build out Rimuru. As much as I would love to just throw everything at the hero, you want to use a lot of these, because same with the Draconic heroes, there are very specific things that you can build for specific heroes. You want to make sure that you're using these. As you can see, we already have 550 of these. We have been saving these for a ton of time, trying to get these and essentially building these out for an extended amount of time. I don't know if the labyrinth, I'm going to have to go through here with 9 hours left and clean out that labyrinth. But like I said, going through here and going through the game mode, you want to make sure that you're getting everything, including the dimensional gear. And I'm pretty sure, fingers crossed, that he's going to be a mage dimensional. If we're getting another hero and they change the faction or whatever, that would be kind of crazy. But I think it is going to be the mage. And again, looking at the guild store, you have to keep, so even down here, looking at our dimensional gear, which is actually right there, we need the caster dimensional gear for the hero. Now, also remember, don't burn all your resources, guys. If you come in here and you're buying all your gear for Rimuru out of the guild store, you're hopping over here, you're buying all of your space emblems out here because you're going to build Rimuru, and then he comes out and guess what? You're short on essentially all of the resources to buy him. I don't want you to get, I don't want you to get burned. I really don't want you to get burned. And again, it's happened a lot. Dimensional Tower will come out eventually. Yes, the Dimensional Tower, guys, I am hoping someday. Again, it's probably been a year and a half since we kind of talked about the Dimensional Tower. Now, of course, Dragonforge, we're getting more resources out of here. They finally fixed this thing. they're going to be adding more stages to this. Now, again, we kind of talked about this before. When it comes to the Dragonforge trials, I am stuck at 9. I've been stuck at 9 pretty much forever, but they are going to be adding more to the Draconic heroes to essentially continue going and building these out. As you can see, I've gotten a lot of resources as we've continued to build these out, making sure that we're being able to summon the heroes. And at this point, I'm going to save all of my scrolls. So when you look here at our wish list, the only one really worth building right now is Nyla. Since we have Nyla built out in her entirety, I'm just going to slow build the rest of these, but I do want to save my Draconic scrolls. That way, when a new hero comes out for the Draconic faction, essentially we'll already have scrolls in here. We're not going to have use a lot of diamonds. Now, of course, with the Dragon Heart Temple, I'm going to continue to build Gwen because Gwen is being used in a lot of different places. Now, in addition, also with Vile, the new Mauler hero, we are seeing the new Mauler hero already being used in a few places, which is awesome. So Villanelle is being used in a few places. We're actually seeing her in the current iteration of the Cursed Realm, that she is being used with the energy disintegration factor. So we're going to have to go in here, and if I can get some diamonds, we're going to have to go in here and essentially build and get a couple more copies of her. We need 4 more to get her up to that ascended level. So we're getting there, guys. It's very, very slow to build some of these heroes, but we need more copies of her in the entirety, meaning we're going to get there. Hello to the best AFK YouTuber, long time no see. What is going on? Thank you. Rimuru versus Rem, early carry. Right now, I would say Rem. The reason being, we don't know exactly what Rimuru is going to look like. We don't know. And again, as much as I'm enjoying the anime, as much as I like the hero, it's going to be interesting to see, and we're going to have to see the effectiveness. I mean, no knock on AFK Arena, but we've seen some dimensional heroes that are just absolute flops with not really any utility at all. That's why I kind of take it with a grain of salt, especially because we've never seen the hero up on the test server. We've never seen the hero anywhere to go out there. Is it likely that I get an Awakened hero from the Mystic Star Zone event? Groot? Probably not. So Mystic Star Zone, and big shout out to Adventure Walk, guys. We have been crushing it right here. It looks like someone took my node. We are 342, so we are actually making some progression. And of course, we have all of our chests at this point. We have picked up everything. We have our 100% here. This is a insane amount of loot out of this game mode. You have to make sure essentially that you're going in here and you are getting all of these nodes and I feel like, I don't know if we're going to be able to take out some of these teams. Let's go ahead and give it a go. And it looks like some of these are empty. So maybe we can grab this node from someone. Boom, there we go. And even though I'm not really too worried about the time, I just want to continue making sure we win because, of course, that is going to give us more resources. Now, like you were saying, out of the chests, are you going to pick up one of these? I am still 0 for forever. If you remember, so I have never, ever gotten one of these chests with one of these heroes. I am 0 for forever. I need 3 more of these hero fragment chests to actually get another copy of a hero. But are you going to get one of the Awakened hero chests? I hope you do. I unfortunately have not at all. I haven't used any epic chests. I have like 30 red chests. Is using all epic chests to get to 40 recommended. So the way that we do it, Grumpy, so when it comes to your regular chests, when it comes to the epic chests, so as you can see, we have 118 here, and then we have 1,025 here. So the way that you want to build this is when you have a hero that you're building above the plus 30 signature item. For instance, let's just use Gavis right here. When it comes to building this out is to go from level 30 to 31, you do want to use the epic divinity emblems or the epic emblems you want to use to go from 30 to 31. 32 through 38, you do want to use the divinity emblems or your red chest, your epic or your regular red chest, because mathematically it is the cheapest way to do it. Now, when you're getting to level 39 and level 40, you're going to go back to these epic emblems, and that is kind of how you're going to build it. So going from 30 to 40, there are going to be 3 levels, which is going to be 31, 39, and 40 that you're going to use your epics. The rest of them are going to be the regular red chests, and that is the cheapest way to build them, just looking at the cost. Again, people over on Reddit, Discord have broke it down mathematically on exactly what it looks like to be essentially the most beneficial when it comes to building out the heroes or when it comes to getting the most return for your money. That's the way as of right now, building those out. Now, of course, it also makes a difference on who you're building these. I'm going to have to run through. I don't think I did these many times. No, eight attempts left. But you want to make sure that you're going in there and you are building out some of the heroes. Now, I've said it from the beginning, when it comes to the plus 40 signature items, I built the heroes out that were most required for stats. That is the big thing, is the stats. We built the heroes out that needed stats. So looking at the awakened version of Belinda, looking at Laika, looking at Athalia, looking at Liberta, all of those heroes we did build up to a plus 40, because again, they are very, very dependent on the damage, and that is very dependent on the stats that they have. Yeah, the hero choice chest is a myth. That's exactly what I think. I will say I haven't seen an anime crossover flop. So a couple of them, and if you want to talk about like a crossover, let's talk about Yukio. So Yukio, and I don't know how long, Mystic, you've been playing this game. So Yukio was the first absolute 100% pay-to-win hero. The only way you could get Yukio as the crossover that we see was to purchase him. Yukio was an absolute train wreck. There was nothing that he was used for short of a florist stage, I believe once or twice. But overall, when it comes to Yukio, and again, this was one, I believe the first crossover, because I think the very first dimensional hero when we released was King Arthur. So Arthur was the actual one that came out when we released the dimensional heroes. Then it was followed with our first crossover, which was Yukio. Yukio was pay to win only. There was 0 ways to get Yukio except to purchase him. So you had to drop your $50 or your $100 depending on when you bought him to get Yukio. And again, this is a hero that never ever was really played anywhere through all of AFK Arena, never really had a place, even though you had to purchase him in his entirety. It was kind of crazy. When is Rimuru coming to global? So this week, we should see Rimuru up on the test server. So we will see the patch notes will come up. Rimuru will come up on the test server, which means next Tuesday, again, if they stay true to what we regularly see with the patch notes and how they kind of run it regularly, normally it'll be on global servers. Monday will be the patch notes, and then Tuesday will be the actual patch. So we could see this, 7, 8, 9 more days. 9 more days, we should see Rimuru up on the global servers for purchase. And then, of course, you have to wait the 53 days until you get to the point of getting them. I just watched the anime for the new dimensional hero. And yeah, that's what I thought. It seems like, Peter, it is going to be a mage hero. I haven't watched all the anime. I'm going to continue watching it because I'm super excited about it. Even when you look at Ainz and Albedo, I never watched that. Persona 5, I didn't watch that. But this one, I wanted to see exactly what it was about and exactly kind of how the hero worked. And it's pretty broken. Now, of course, Fun in the Wild, this is going to yield you 5,000 diamonds. Come in here, get all of your resources. Like I cannot stress it enough, guys. When it comes to AFK Arena, guys, it is the resource acquisition that you're getting every single time that we're going in here and we're making progression. You want to make sure that you're getting everything that you can in this game, every event, every ability, every free copy, even running the Temple Rift, going through doing the Bountiful Trials, doing the Echoes of Quicksand, doing every single little nook and cranny that you can do within this game to continue our progression. Make sure you're not watching the anime around the kids. Oh yeah, definitely. I don't watch it around anyone, Leonardo. It is literally by myself because I always worry about that with anime. Do you have dimensional gear ready for Rimuru? I don't think so. I don't think I have the gear ready, but there are a few, and I wonder, let's turn this off. There are a few heroes, like here we have all of the gear ready. I believe all of these I pretty much tiered 3'd. We don't have the piece right there. Yennefer's even all tier 3. So no, I don't have the gear ready. Now, of course, I'll get the gear as soon as I can. And guys, honestly, when again, you think big picture with AFK Arena, the gear is not a game changer. The gear, I repeat again, guys, the gear is not a game changer. If it's having the gear or having the hero, it is always the hero. If it's getting the resources to build the heroes, it is always that. Because now, even with the effect of getting tier 3 gear in comparison to tier 4 gear, it doesn't have that much of an impact, where if you did all tier 3 gear on Rimuru, you're going to be completely fine with all of the gear that is ready. Now, again, I'm going to have to keep an eye out and really keep a lookout of getting the gear out of the guild store. That way I can have it ready. Even if I have 1 or 2 pieces ready, I'm okay. But again, putting gear on there and getting the gear maxed out, or getting even the tier 3 gear, it doesn't make that huge of a difference, honestly. Here's a trick I just figured out in the Mystic Star Zone. Take all the camps out before large ones for yourself, so that way the opponent is not mining. I tried, Kyle. My account isn't big enough. So if I was an absolute whale, yeah, take out a ton of camps. Just go ahead and kick everybody out of the camps, and then take the large one. Most of the players on the larger camps I can't take out, which is kind of crazy. Do you think Lavatoon or Damia first to build? I would do Lavatoon. If you do either one, Dying, if you do Lavatoon or if you do Damia, both of them are going to work exceptionally well. Tier list wise, Lavatoon is listed before Damia, but again, either one that you build out, they're both going to do incredibly well, and they have a crazy amount of utility in a bunch of different places. They'll probably add Chino as the second hero with Rimuru. I hope they do. Veldora, yeah, Veldora would be awesome. And again, we would have to see. I'm hoping it's more than one. How do I get a desired hero summons? I got the stars unlocked, but I have access to 6. So Nathan, if you're talking about the 8, so the desired hero summons, how I have 8 of them right here. You said you have 6 VIP level. Good luck dropping an insane amount of money in here, because the VIP level is what gives you the ability to actually summon more. Right down here, it is... There's one in here that raises how many you can do. I might just be missing it in here, but I know even looking at this one, it does the same. It increases the amount of summons that you can do in here. That's where they come from. It comes in here, and again, I'd have to kind of look through. You can see there's a ton of stuff in here. But yeah, the other 2 desired hero summons. So if you're at 6, Nathan, you can only get 6. That is it. Short of the VIP levels. The VIP levels do give you extra desired hero summons, which again, that's kind of what you're seeing here is those extra one. It is VIPs. I remember Yukio was bad. Yes, Yukio was real bad. What's going on, Kookie? Do you think our next step for AFK Arena with a lot of players for Unweltering Waves, do you think they can keep the game interesting enough? I think they will. I mean, when you look, even the 5th anniversary, Kookie, there's a lot of new players. And again, when it came to the new dimensional hero, I've gotten an insane amount of questions. That's the reason why I wanted to cover it today, because there are so many questions that we've been seeing about a lot of AFK Arena content and about new heroes. How do we get them? I feel like I'm going to have to circle back, and let me know in the comments, guys. I'm going to have to circle back and do probably quite a few of the starter videos, kind of the basic videos, the beginning videos, because I know, again, there's been a lot of players that have a ton of questions, which of course are kind of older questions that we've covered, you know, kind of throughout the years. We've been doing 5 years of AFK Arena, so it's incredible. And I don't feel like this game is going to go anywhere as far as them not playing it, players not playing it, people going away. This is a game, again, I really feel like it's not going anywhere, and we still have a ton of years left. And I'm not going anywhere. I enjoy the game, regardless of what comes, good or bad. Like, collections were an absolute train wreck. I still like the game. I still like the content of the game. I like going in here and being able to go through, play the heroes, play all the different game modes. And I take kind of it with a grain of salt. There's going to be patches, there's going to be updates, and they always make changes to the updates. We have seen that past the last 5 years, that there are going to be a lot of changes that are coming to AFK Arena, just like adding the dragons. A lot of players were super upset that we got all of these Draconic heroes. For me, it's good or bad, guys. If you don't build them, it is what it is. If you don't want to do anything with them, you really don't have to. Some of them are being used in some different places, but let's see if we can get a copy of Gwen. It's looking pretty yellow here. And there we go. There's another copy of Gwen. Awesome. Now, I haven't seen the diamonds yet, but again, when it comes to our insignias, we are going to use all of the insignias to get Gwen, and we are just going to continue building her up in the entirety. That gives us 2 copies, almost have her at Mythic Plus. Now, of course, we are getting free copies that are coming with the Heroes of Aspria with Hildwyn, so we'll actually be able to get more copies of Hildwyn, and I believe we have 4 more copies of Hildwyn that are going to be coming around the corner, which means we're absolutely going to be able to get him up to Ascended. When you get him up to Ascended, it gives you another free copy. Now, if you guys haven't caught, you actually do get another free copy when Hildwyn goes up to Ascended through what we have going on, so it's going to be cool getting a lot more stuff. Then, of course, We have the Curse Realm, the Nightmare Quarter, the Treasure Scramble. We have so much other stuff in AFK Arena that we have going on right now. It's pretty impressive with the amount of content that they are putting out there. It's kind of crazy. 1 minute, let me see about getting a screenshot on my phone. I'm a new player, chapter 11. Will I not be able to summon Rimuru? So you will not be able to summon, you have to exchange for him. That's the big thing, and it might have been answered in there. But yes, you cannot summon, you have to exchange. That is the way it works with the exchanges. With all of the dimensional heroes, you have to save resources to exchange. You're not going to be able to actually summon them themselves. Remember that you said that Fun in the Wild isn't worth it a few months ago. So when we did the Fun in the Wild, it really wasn't worth it until going through, you get 5,000 diamonds. Again, it's free loot, Peter. And a lot of players were saying it isn't worth going in there and buying it. But if you're a light spender, for the 5,000 diamonds, it's worth it. And definitely, Peter, again, when we looked at originally, looking at the cost and the return, the packages that are coming out, everything else that we buy within AFK Arena, it's worth it. And yes, Peter, it is now absolutely worth it. Anyone can summon a dimensional after chapter 10. Let me see, because I want to hop in here and let me see if I can. I think I put some extra money on here because we knew that Rimuru was coming. And I want to show you what this looks like, guys. It's pretty funny to see the crazy duck. Let's look at the Fun in the Wild and let me see. I think we have some on here. And again, I put extra money right on the card. There we go. Oh, it's going to make me, we'll have to do it later. But we did put extra money in the card knowing that Rimuru is coming, that we're going to be buying the hero. But these are worth buying out because essentially if you go around 5 times, you do get 5,000 diamonds. So this is equivalent to 10,000 diamonds with your 10 runs. And over here, when you think mathematically, this is a crazy amount of diamonds. Plus you get all of these other perks. You get the VIP perk, but you also get the Sonetta. And then of course, this is gonna give you the ability to get these. We got the Mystic Furniture Scrolls last time. Last time we did do it, we definitely got there and we were able to get them. We need tier 5 gear primo. I know some people will love it, some people will not like it at all. But yes, tier 5 gear, again, rumored that tier 5 gear is going to be coming. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see exactly what it's. Second stream, let's go. Oh, that's okay. Thank you for joining us for the stream. Sorry it's a little bit late, but that is okay. Ghoulish Gallery, again, this is a place that is just a stupid kind of nightmare because as you can see, I haven't bought the arcane staffs. There's nowhere else to get them. This needs an overhaul. The arcane staffs need to come from either Field of Stars. They need to come from AFK rewards. They need to come from somewhere because again, I haven't done anything collection wise because I stopped buying the staffs without them giving us free staffs. We get 0 staff. So being able to come in here and do any draws at all is non-existent within this game mode, which kind of sucks because I think with the collections replacing essentially everything, and we know there are also new ones coming. So this is the first iteration of the collections that we see in the North Zone collections. There are a lot of other collections that are going to be coming essentially around new releases, future patches. This needs to be revamped in its entirety. I know going through here, it's a lot easier to go through it. But again, looking at big picture, that needs to be changed and that needs to be changed in its entirety because it is kind of crazy on what is going on in there. Finally got into League of Champions. Finally a big boy. Oh, Mystic is finally in the League of Champions. I was doing well with the League of Champions until Blossom appeared in here. So we were going through, if you know the Champion Hall, and we've looked at Blossom's account a couple times, once or twice before when we go into the LC. Blossom, I have to fight against Blossom. And as you can see from the heroes that she has right here and all of those shiny silver stars, it's literally impossible for me to kill Blossom. And then even looking here, when you look at the plus 40 signature items, most heroes have the plus 40. Most of them are at the 36 of 36 furniture. So ultimately, I just get crushed. It's impossible with Kilby Ross and Blossom to actually make some progression. And I believe the last time we went through here, and Jigo is also in there, that we weren't able to make any progression because, of course, there's a massive whale that is going to be going in there. Why is the new Draconic event not available to me? You have to be at a certain point, Benedict. Where are you at in the campaign? Yeah, so the campaign progression, I believe you have to be in chapter 16. I'm not sure where you're at, Benedict. Is Hilduin SI 30 worth building? Right now, I would probably build out Gwen before I would for Hilduin. The reason being, when you look utility-wise, we have Nyla who's being used, and honestly, Nyla would be the first one, and it is the first one that we built out. We are seeing Nyla being used in a ton of different places. We are seeing Gwen being used in some of the best in slot formations, and then Hilduin is kind of a Gavis, kind of a support mage that we're seeing used in a few formations, but a lot of players are just replacing Hilduin if you don't have him built. And of course, the reason why we built him up a little bit more was the Dragon Forge. That's why we did take him a little bit higher. Now, of course, looking at Gwen, we can get a couple more of these built, and we've been trying to stick to what we had before, but I think I'm going to use a couple of these to get them built. And again, we're going to have to see exactly what it looks like. And of course, 39 and 40. There we go. We'll go to a plus 40 with Gwen, because again, damage-wise, this is what we're looking for. Gains 30 points of physical pierce, 40 points of insight, 150 points of accuracy if no one is around her. That is huge. That is absolutely huge, especially looking at the game modes where she is by herself, which is kind of what we're seeing in a couple different places. Now, of course, we do need a few more copies of her to get her stronger. That way she can be there. We need more ways of getting the level 40 chest. So Alfredus, yes, we need more ways of getting the 40 chests. So essentially, and I know I got to stop saying essentially, this is going to be the way. So this is what it's rumored, Alfredus, is when you look at Nothing Here Now, all of these, that they're saying that one of these, and of course, this was the Draconis update that we've seen right here, the Dragon Speak emblems. One of these are going to be the Epic Emblem chests. So one of these, again, is going to be a way to get more of those Epic Emblem chests, both red chests and Epic Emblem chests. One of these are going to be a way to get Arcane Staffs, which again, when you look at the ability to build out those collections, one of these are supposedly going to be in a way to get a lot more of those Arcane Staffs. So they're going to start coming out of either the chests or coming out of AFK rewards. And then they're saying one of these are going to be the ability to get more of your engraving mats. So I don't know if it's going to be shards in you know, your red cores or your red emblems. We're going to have to see exactly what it looks like with the details of the star and kind of what is going to be coming on all of these other stars. But again, rumored, that's what we're seeing, Alfredus, or that's what players are thinking. And over on Reddit, Discord, a couple different places, that this is going to be the ability to get all of those Arcane Staffs, which is exactly what we need. That way you can go ahead and get those. AFK Arena is full of content to offer to players. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And Poppy, honestly, you don't have to spend any money. I have over 600 time cards to use them for Lucius or save for the next Awakened Heroes. I would wait. So there's two things right now, guys. Number one, we know guaranteed dev notes, the probability is going to change in here. Wait to do any summons till the probabilities change. You have to definitely wait to see for this update. Now, would I go ahead and build out Lucius? No. Knowing that an Awakened Hero should be coming within the next 2.5, 3 weeks, since we know there's another Awakened Hero coming, absolutely do not summon for Lucius right now, because what you can do, Peter, is if we get a new Awakened Hero and overall the new Awakened Hero is absolutely broken, boom, you have the ability to get the new Awakened Hero. And of course, you're going to build Lucius maybe in time. But if the new Awakened Hero comes out and it's an absolute flop, nobody's using the new Awakened Hero and essentially doesn't go anywhere, you can always go back and just summon for Lucius. No harm, no foul. You will be able to build out Lucius in his entirety, meaning either one you're going to have. But I don't want you to build out Lucius and then a new hero comes out that is 10 times stronger than Lucius, and now you don't get to build that hero itself. Do you have any space on my friends list? No, we looked at it a little bit earlier. The friends list was full. We monitor this on a regular basis. You can see we don't even have one day at this point for players that are in AFK Arena. This is a screenshot of my hero choice chest from the Mystic Star Zone. I've seen a couple. Hope they're doing a hero swap event where we can swap Hilduin for a good Draconis hero. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do it. Maybe the next swap event next year we would do it. Are we planning to push the campaign? Yes. I've been pushing the campaign on a regular basis. And the big reason, of course, with the campaign progression is the ability to get not only these epic Dragon Speak emblems, but also getting all of the resources we are getting with our elemental cores, and everything else as we continue to push. This is the way that we are getting all our resources. And of course, when Rimuru comes out, boom, we have almost 1,100 elemental cores, which means we can take the hero to an E80 engraving right off the bat. And of course, when it comes to our epic chest and our red chest, we should have enough to take Rimuru to a plus 40. Then of course, we just need some furniture to go ahead and summon up the furniture. And that's the reason why we're waiting for villain right now, is looking at the Oaken. We are almost 100,000 Pokecoins deep. So even though we have the new hero that is in there, I'm going to wait and see exactly who we're going to be using, because of course we want to wait till we can drop Rimuru in here, and then we are going to do all of the summons for both of them. So even looking here, we almost have a lot of these done. So looking at a few of these, and again, we're going to put a couple heroes in here, like our brand new hero that hasn't reached the Ascended tier yet, but she is absolutely going to get there so we can do some summons. And then of course we want to put Rimuru in here when we get him. 3 cards on the table, 100,000 Pokecoins. Hopefully we can get, you know, the 9 of 9 furniture out of those. We're going to max out the hero. I want to see. I don't care if Rimuru is a flop. I'm going to max him out. That's what a lot of players are saying, Alvin, that it is going to be an absolute build out. How important is 44 Adrian Elise for them? So it has a pretty good impact. So the 40, I don't have the 40 on here. So when you look at the ability, increase damage to enemies in the back line of the enemy battlefield is the big one. Then of course, when you look at the 40, this effect applies to all allied heroes. So this is not going to just be enemies on the, or allies on the enemy side of the battlefield. This is going to be everybody. That is the big thing. So when you look at Adrian Elise, this 20% will only apply to allies on the enemy side. When they're in the backside, this is going to apply to everyone, which makes the 40 in here. If you're going to use Adrian Elise, the 20% effect is not going to happen to any of your allied heroes if they're on the allied side. That is the reason. And again, I'm kind of hesitant to build out an entire hero just kind of based on a 20% damage increase. I don't know. I don't know. Are the new drop rates out yet? No, they are not at this point. Honestly, I wish that automatic mechanic for AFK stages was unlocked earlier. Yes, Tagsy, we've talked about that quite a bit. So when it comes to the actual AFK stages, when it comes to the build out on this, a lot of players have stressed they wish the auto battle feature was a lot earlier, which honestly, I don't understand why it's not. I really don't. What's going on, Justine? I don't understand why it isn't. It isn't earlier? I think they would definitely going in there. Yeah, to manual battles 1,000 times. Yeah, it can get kind of crazy in there, especially again when you have to manual over and over and over again. It does get a little bit crazy. And I remember AFK Arena when we never had the auto. This auto battle, once upon a time they never had it. You had to literally do it yourself. Gwen has been a bit confusing. I believe she buffs based on the point of haste to get her second skill. I don't see anything that gives her a haste boost. A lot of times it is the other heroes in the battle. So when you look at her utility, when you look at her being used Mystic, a lot of other heroes in the battle will give her the ability to get a lot more haste to go. And no, like I said, the new drop rates, 1.44, that's what we're thinking. Horvath, that's what I'm thinking personally, is patch 1.144, because that would result in the Awakened hero to go in there with the new hero. When do we think for the new Dimensional Tower? That's actually a question that I asked. I have not seen a response from that one. Unfortunately, at this point, I would love to see a Dimensional Tower. And this, guys, when you start getting into massive level deficiencies like this, I mean, we're almost pushing a 500 level deficiency. It just takes time. This is literally farming over and over and over again until we get to the point of winning a stage or winning a couple stages. This is the most probably time-consuming thing that you'll do in AFK Arena because, again, there is a massive RNG piece that goes into this. And, of course, looking at the Fox Fatale that is just charming everyone, trying to get through these shields. Condo sale of Rimuru. Rimuru should be discounted, Willie. That's what we're thinking. Yeah, there we go. Is Liberta still viable for the first stage at First Stargaze at 1 star. Yes, Liberta is still the #1 priority in AFK Arena. As of right now, yes, it is absolutely. Any advice on what teams to use in the campaign? I've just been using my Treasure Scramble teams. So you should be able to use the formations. That's the big thing, Lucida. When you go in here, you can use the formations just like I copied. The formations are going to be based on the heroes that you possess. So it is a huge, huge advantage to go in here because it's going to be, again, based on the heroes that you possess. You're not going to have a bunch of garbage in here for heroes essentially that you're not going to use or you don't have. It is a great way to copy those formations. And yes, Liberta is the one you want to. I don't know which Draconic to choose, Gwen or Hilduin. I already have Nyla extended. Honestly, I would go and I would build Gwen. Peter, when you think of utility-wise, we are seeing Gwen used in a lot of different places. Hilduin, not as much, which is kind of crazy. Manual battles form an addictive habit. Yeah, the manual battles are crazy, Marco. Even in here, and it's funny because a lot of players were kind of making the bridge from AFK Journey. Having the ability to turn on and off ultimate abilities would be cool. So if I could come down here and say, I don't want, let's say, Brutus to alt, but I do want Lyca to alt. And again, this is something we've talked about for years now at this point, is having the ability to turn on and alt of specific heroes, which unfortunately has never come to AFK Arena. Did I finish the Temple Rift this week? I think I'm almost there. I think I pushed to like 160 or something. Yeah, I'll have to go through there and make some more progression. What do you think of the 2 Draconic units? Are they usable after a month after the release? Yes, so Nyla and Gwen are being used. Those are the 2 biggest ones that we are still seeing. Rimuru is going to be the next collaboration, guys. That is the next hero, according to Dolly, according to everything else. It is going to be the crossover with Rimuru, is going to be the dimensional collaboration that we should be seeing. And again, it should be up on the test server this week. That's right, guys. This week, it should be up on the test server. So it'll be really, really cool to see that we're going to have the ability to get the new hero. Really cool. And of course, guys, before we conclude, I want to make sure that we do the membership gifting. We do this every single time. And there is the Thorn Cheese. Oh, it's so tough to get the Thorn Cheese to work. But look at that. Primo gifted a membership. Awesome to see. Every time we do our live streams, both on AFK Journey and AFK Arena, we do the gifting of a membership. It's a way to give back to you guys. And I love seeing it. I love seeing all the little hippos next to your guys' name. It's really, really cool, especially when I get like the comments on YouTube and it's got the little symbols on there. It's awesome to see all the love and support that I get from you guys for this game. And of course, guys, it has been 5 years. It is incredible. 5 years later that we are seeing. And if you looked even there, so we got through this stage, but even thinking back and kind of the reminisce aspect, when you look at our dimensional heroes, that is going to be 20 dimensional heroes that we have seen. And again, I remember when I was super stoked with King Arthur, one of my absolute favorite stories, if you've seen all of the different movies and everything they've done, Sword in the Stone and all that, King Arthur, very, very cool to see. And then, of course, they have just literally grown like crazy from there. It's awesome to see. And of course, the Draconic heroes, even though they're a month in, I like the build. I like how they incorporated the dragons in here. I want to see some of the like the True Blood dragons or some of the actual dragons. It would be awesome to see, like, again, not the hero itself, but actually seeing like full-blown dragons in here and some incorporation. There's going to be a lot more stuff coming down the AFK Arena pipeline, and we know it is, guys. We know there's going to be new heroes. There's going to be the dimensional hero. There's going to be more awakened heroes. We're also going to see possibly another crossover this year, which would be really cool to see. Now, they said, again, minimum 1 crossover. Doesn't mean they can't have more than 1, but minimum 1. And we also don't know if Rimuru is going to bring anyone else with the hero, which would be very cool. Yeah, 38 AFK stages, the auto AFK starts, and that is crazy long. They need to make it about 25, I think would be good, Marco, instead of waiting that long. Furry Hippo is my favorite and always will be. Oh, thank you, guys. And again, the love and support, guys. I love being able to come in here, talk to you guys about AFK Arena, see what is going on, all the changes, talk through a lot of different things, because unfortunately, You guys are the only ones that I get to talk to about video games at all for playing AFK Arena, playing AFK Journey, playing Guild of Guardians. If you haven't checked out Guild of Guardians, it's pretty cool as an NFT game. Again, I beta tested this about 3 years ago with Guild of Guardians. It's a pretty cool game. It's pretty fun. The NFT heroes that you can get, it is pretty cool. I kind of wish they added new dimensional pets. So there is a new pet that is coming as well. I don't have many details on it, Lily, but there has been some more conversation. So we know we just got the new pet that came out. And again, big reason why you need to build and continue to build up your beast to resonating level 18. I believe with the next patch, there is going to be a new beast that is released. Again, I seen some Chinese notes about it. They had very vague. There wasn't even a name of the beast, any pictures, anything like that. So it seems like there is going to be another, beast that is going to be coming either in the next patch or the patch after that. It is coming again, kind of down the pipeline, and we're going to have to see. And I remember with this place was empty. Guys, when even here, the coming soon in a couple different places, it is awesome to see how much progression and kind of how much they have built out with AFK Arena for this. Yeah, Veldora have a human form, so there we go. They could bring Veldora over with Rimuru. It'd be really cool to see. What's your thoughts about swapping Hilduin at 1 star to Gwen? Not sure you can swap them. I don't think you can swap them at this point because it has to be 2023 or older. Yeah, what pets are the best? Yeah, pets, I like the pets. And again, guys, when they rolled out with the beasts, everybody hated the beasts when they came out. It was so pay to win. Nobody wanted to do it. Now everybody loves the beasts. We've seen the same with Draconic heroes, with engraving, with signature items, with everything that we've gotten. Take it with a grain of salt. It's going to change. There's going to be a lot of different things that are going to come down the pipeline. And of course, definitely looking forward for the collab. Like I said, we already put money on our Google Play gift card. That way we have it all set. We know we're going to be able to buy him, build him day one. And I got enough resources where I do want to max him out, take him to like, the plus 40 signature item, the 9 of 9 furniture at least, and doing the 80 engraving in there because I feel like it is going to be a very broken hero indeed, which is going to be awesome. Yeah, beasts just take time. So Karma, the way that I did it when it comes to the beast is I did everything, literally everything, Karma, for beasts. When you look at your baits, when you look at all the baits we get in here, is every single event, I bought baits. Every single chest, I bought baits. Every single place, period, that I could get baits in their entirety, Karma, I got them for everywhere. Even looking at the Noble Society where you could get some baits out of here. Again, I bought baits out of everywhere and I farmed it for months until we got to the point of getting the beast up to level 18. Once we got beast resonance up to level 18, I do not buy baits and I do not get baits anywhere. These are just naturally coming through progression, but really getting the baits or getting the beast up to 18 not only give you access to some of the strongest abilities that we have similar to heroes, but also every new beast that comes out, you already have the beast at 18, which again is kind of super broken. Is getting them up to 18 is huge, guys. I cannot tell you how long that I underestimated the beast and the effectiveness of the beasts themselves. Once I got them built up to 18, it was a game changer. A lot of the beasts essentially do not work when you get them or until you get them up to 18 with all of the abilities that they have. I might do the same thing with baits, considering I'm free to play. Yes, and that's it. So what you can do, Light, is knowing that you're going to build your beast to 18, get your baits, put them all into the beast. You could even go ahead and build him up to 18 and then slowly move the rest into 18 like you do, which again is going to be pretty cool. Is Gwen an awakened hero? No, she is not. That was the big point that we seen, Peter. Gwen does not possess the SP effect, and it is the exact same with Hilduin. There is no SP effect. They are not awakened heroes. And again, we verified with Belinda. If you don't know Belinda on Facebook, whole nother conversation. But we verified with Belinda, they are not awakened heroes, meaning that we're still going to have the regular iteration of awakened heroes. At this point, they do not plan to do awakened Draconis heroes because Draconis heroes are a little bit stronger than regular heroes. But overall, yes, we are not seeing that change within there. I know what the price is now. I neglected. Yeah, I did the same. So that was it, Carl, was I neglected the beasts in their entirety. and I paid for it. I really did regret not building them up a little bit earlier. Could definitely be there. Still waiting for the dimensional to get, yeah, an awakened dimensional. They can't do it my MHD. That's because of the crossover with the contracts, with the heroes, with everything else. We're probably not going to have an awakened, and I will never say never with the AFK Arena. We are not going to have an awakened dimensional hero because, again, it is because of the contracts that they possess to get the crossovers. Any of their own heroes they could do awaken, like Arthur, Merlin, stuff like that. But any of the rest of them, they are not going to see. So, all right, guys, so that is going to do it for our Sunday live stream. And happy Memorial Day to you guys. We had to do the stream a little bit earlier today. We have family coming over. We're cooking food, doing everything that we do for Memorial Day. So it's going to be very, very cool to see. All right, like I said, that is going to do it for today's stream. Very excited to see what the new dimensional hero is going to bring. Going to continue, and I want to finish the anime. I started it. I'm not going to leave it uncompleted. I'm going to go through there, and I want to finish the rest of it. Waiting for Rimuru and seeing exactly what it's going to do. So again, guys, have a great Memorial Day. Relax. Take some time. Log off the computer. You've been joining me for an entire hour. So again, that is going to do it for our live stream. And as always, thank you guys for watching.